You know, if you wanted to pull a con job, there's no better people to con than Christians. Christians are so easy. And I'm going to talk about this young lady to help you understand how to con a Christian. You see, this young lady here, this is Miss Magnum. Miss Magnum, if any of you guys remember, right around about 2006, she was a stripper who was paid to come to a frat party on the campus of Duke University for the lacrosse players. Well, once she left the party, she called the police, and she had claimed that these 3 lacrosse players had locked her in a bathroom, beaten her, and essayed her. Now, of course, it became national news, and the prosecutor came out and lambasted these 3 young men, scolded them, gave so much talked so derogatory about them that the nation was on that young lady's side. But then, as the situation started to evolve, we started to find out that there was no DNA on her, inside of her. There were no bruisings. That her story wasn't able to be corroborated. And so the DA had to drop the case on these 3 young men. And of course, their reputations were damaged almost irreparably. Because you have to think about it. As a man, you're out there trying to get a job. Well, you may not have got convicted for it, but you know what? You still might have done it. And even if you didn't do it, you got bad judgment by putting yourself in a position where things like that can happen. Well, the Magnum young lady, she goes on and she sues Duke University. And they settle an undisclosed amount that was not revealed to the public. So she made a little money. Now, how are you saying this is a Christian scandal? This is where it gets into the good part. Well, around 2013, she's convicted and goes to jail for killing her boyfriend. And while she's in jail, the scam happens. The mindset hits. Who are the people that I can take advantage of when I get out of jail? Well, it's the Christians. Because once leaving jail, she amazingly leaves jail here recently, and she wrote a book. She has a book deal. And in her book deal, she's going on tour. She's doing the talk shows. And when she did her first talk show, she said that she actually lied about those three young men. That it has been on her heart to publicly apologize to those 3 young men because she lied about the entire situation that happened on college. And that her friends, and that she wanted to publicly apologize to her friends and her family and to God about it. And she's not proud of it. But she also says, and this is the hook to the Christian, that everything happened to get everybody to a point where they are. It's all to show God's love and forgiveness. Now, she said that before she made statements about her allegations against those 3 young men. You see, that's the hallmark of being able to get Christians to forget about what you've actually done and play you to the left. Because like I said, she's on a book tour. She used to be a stripper. She's been in prison for a little bit. She probably don't have that stripper body no more. She need a way to make money. She can't sue the university, although if I'm the university, I'm coming back and I'm getting my money from this young lady. If I'm those young men, I'm suing her for defamation of character, because not only did that stigma follow them up until today that they possibly could have been essayists, but also they got bad judgment for allowing themselves to be put in a situation where somebody could do that. So she's damaged these young men, the young men's character, for almost 20 years here. I don't know what they're doing in their lives right now. I didn't even bother to go look it up. So you guys look that up for me. Tell me what's going on with those 3 young men. But the damage has already been done. Could you imagine having to go through life, knowing that you were falsely accused, knowing that although you got off, the stigma still follows you everywhere you go. Back in 2006, there wasn't too many. You wasn't gonna make a living off playing professional lacrosse. So whatever industries those young men were going into, that stigma followed them. But now she's saying that God is the one that had her go through that process of making that statement, so that those young men can hopefully, because she says in another part that those young men can hopefully find God and be able to accept her apology, that she had to go through that so that God could get her to the point where she realized that she needed God, because she was saying that she was looking for validation through people, never realizing that she had validation through God. You see, that's how you do it right there. That I was looking for validation through people, but I didn't realize that God always validated me. And I'm always a child of God. You see, her boyfriend in 2013, he had to die in order for God to validate her and let her know that God is on her side, because she didn't learn it when she lied to those young men. And Duke University paid her that undisclosed amount of money. They ain't learn it. But now Duke might be, now the university will learn some things about God. Those lacrosse boys hiring a stripper, God was trying to tell them something about their life, save them from something, you see. And the prosecutor who lost his job because of how he viciously went after those young men, see, he had to lose his job and go through this so that God can get him to that point. See, everybody had to go through that. And her story now needs to be told, of how she went through all those things and everybody else went through all those things, so God can validate you and bring you to the beauty of the love of God. All the public who was in uproar, fighting against one another. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but this story polarized. Well, there are many stories that polarize America, but it polarized America again. It had women who came out in support of this young lady, saying of how they abused her. They had black people fighting against white people. It was everybody was finding their niche and fighting. But hey, the rain is about to start, so let me end this video. And I'm gonna end this video by saying, what do you guys think should happen to that young lady, since she lied, obviously lied, and now admits that she lied? And also, Christians who watch my videos, are y'all that easily duped that you're going to go out and buy her book, that you're going to believe her story? She's already proven to you that she lied back in 2006 about one of the most heinous crimes, which makes it harder for women who actually are SA to go through that situation and feel confident that they can get the support that they need. She wrecked those young men's lives. She wrecked that politician's life. Then she killed her boyfriend in 2013. So why does God need his death? Well, you know what? This guy does like his human sacrifices. And now she's coming out with a book. You Christians gonna go buy her book? Y'all gonna come have her speak at y'all church and tell her story, her testimony? Man, if I wanted to become rich, there, like L. Ron Hubbard said, start a religion. If I wanted to make some money, I would do a whole 180 on y'all. I was Christian, and I was an ignorant, innocent Christian who then deconstructed and fell to the ways of the devil through knowledge. But through the grace of God, I gained the Holy Spirit, and now I truly understand the Bible. And I'm starting a new version of Christianity that is true and spiritual and not religious. I can make some money on that. All right now? You Christians will love nothing more than for me to go back to Christianity and start preaching this gospel. Give it a little bit of tweak away from the religious part, the traditional part. But I can make some money. You always remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.